Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Automotive and welcome to the first episode of Auto's Female Engineer. Auto's Female Engineer is a platform that aims to encourage, educate and empower young girls who want to be engineers, ladies who are already in the journey to become engineers, and just any female who wants to learn what do female engineers do in their respective industries. So in today's episode I have one of the special guests one of my special guests, and the reason why I say so is because she is actually one person who was in supportive of A.T.F.E when it was still in conceptual phase, literally. She is the she's a finalist in the Rising Star Award in the manufacturing category, and a telematics, right? A telematics engineer at one of my favorite car brands. So please do help me welcome Deno. So would you, just to for the audience to know you better, would you please introduce yourself? I know I've said a couple, but I believe that you also have something to say to them.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm Deno, as she's already mentioned, and I am an engineer. I have a degree and a master's in mechatronics engineering, and I work in the automotive industry as a telematics specialist, which is basically a vehicle automotive engineer for the electric and electronics components of the vehicle. And I have been in the automotive industry for the past 4 years, 10 months. And prior to that, I was in telecommunications. I worked for a telecommunication company in Cape Town, and I was there for 1.5 years.
So basically you have like 5 years as like working lady.
6.
Six?
Yes.
Really?
I'm 4 years, 10 months in automotive.
Yes.
And then I'm 1 year and a half, few months, I don't remember how many.
6 months.
Yeah, in automotive. So I think overall 6 years, 6 and a couple of months.
Some experienced ladies, huh? Some experienced ladies. So you guys wouldn't know this, but me and Deno actually have shot a video prior in like Feb or so, but it was through Zoom, and we told ourselves that, you know what, when we meet again, which I'm so thankful that you came to Joburg. Oh yes, we did literally say that when she comes to Joburg we'll meet, and I thought, why not we do this thing, you know, face to face and live. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming. I have a couple of questions which I did also take from the previous video. So you did introduce yourself. How did you decide on studying engineering?
I decided on studying engineering, I think, only later in my high school days. I was in matric when the organization came to our school, and then they wanted to host a few girls for the girl age camp, and then so our Afrikaans teacher then selected a few girls, like top students, whatever, and then she asked us to attend. The funny thing is, on that same weekend, I had to be at a debating competition, and my coach was like, there's no way you can't come to this debating competition, you have to be there.
Yeah.
But, and this is like my favorite part of the story, the girl age camp workshop and the debating competition were the exact same thing.
Really?
So I was literally jumping from debating to girl age, like debating to girl age, debating to girl age the whole day. But yeah, and then that's how I decided. I was interested. I liked what the ladies were showing at the camp, and there was a specific lady, I still remember her to this day. She spoke to me, but she was convincing me to become a chemical engineer, not a mechatronics engineer. And then I applied for chemical engineering and mechatronics engineering. But then after our matric results came out, Nestle called me, and then they were like, they want to offer me a bursary.
Yeah.
But they're gonna offer me a bursary for mechatronics, not chemical, and that's how I ended up in mechatronics.
So you were just like, I'm just gonna go with mechatronics. It doesn't matter, you know.
I didn't even know what mechatronics does. I had no idea.
Yeah.
No one knew what mechatronics was. I was just like, I don't even know how I got to apply and make it a second choice. I think it was because it was rule of elimination. I knew I didn't want to do mechanical. I didn't want to do electrical. I was like, okay. Ticho said I should do chemical, so I'm going to choose chemical. And I'm going to do this other one where I don't know what it is. And then Nestle was like, they got my records from, like, because I think when the matric results come out, a lot of companies gave records from, so different universities and different schools. So they told me they got my records and they want to offer me a bursary to study mechatronics engineering. I was like, cool, mechatronics.
It is. Oh my word. So, but like, what is mechatronics engineering?
Mechatronics engineering, I think, is like, it's weird enough not what people think when they say it's mechanical, electrical, and computer combined in one.
Yeah.
It's really not. We do mechanical subjects, we do electrical subjects, and we do electronics and computer subjects. But I think the underlying theme of what mechatronics is teaching is control systems. So basically, it's teaching how to have a control over a system without physically being at the system itself. Yeah. So basically, how to just run a system smartly, automatively, without necessarily having to like be at the system itself.
So it's like a software probably that you control something.
Yes, but then you have to know the hardware aspect of it as well, and the mechanics of it as well. So it's like a combination of it.
Wow. I actually majored in mechatronics, and I like it when like people explain their side of why did they choose mechatronics. Where did you study?
I studied at Cape Peninsula University in Deno.
And they had like mechatronics from the beginning. Because I know with like some of us, I majored it in final year rather than start with it from the beginning. So yeah.
No, we had it as like a small course.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. And then the next question is, how did you find the courses that you had to like go through in varsity? Any hardships with the modules that you find challenging? And how did you deal with it?
Okay, maybe from the beginning. So, how did I find the courses? I think the courses themselves, like mechatronics is a hard course. Maybe let's just get that part out. Like, on its own, it's just like, But for me, I struggle most with mechanical courses. We had like a Friday of mechanical workshops.
Yeah.
And I hated Fridays. I did that year. I have never hated Fridays more than I did that year.
Really?
It was a lot. Like, because we had to wear overalls, we had to wear PPE. In all our other courses, we never had to wear PPE unless we had like a side module for like a high voltage high voltage electrical engineering. There we had to wear PPE, but like everywhere else we never had to wear PPE, and mechanical came and then mechanical we had to wear PPE. We had to do welding. I did not enjoy welding. I did not enjoy things that required me to use my hands.
Hands.
And mechanical was a very hands-on subject.
It is.
And I did not enjoy it. But I did enjoy like MOM, for example. We did MOM and we also did thermodynamics. I enjoyed that. I did not enjoy fluid mechanics because I feel like it was like all over the place. But and the subjects I enjoyed the most, I think, were the subjects that were really core control systems, like simulations, control systems 1, control systems 2. I enjoyed those because I feel like those were a lot more mathematical behind it, even though it was like not nice. It was not easy. It was not for me. Oh no!
So I would say that you actually more in the electronics and control systems, like that. That's Deno.
Yes.
Like, Deno gets home or to work and then just simulates. Yes.
Don't make me touch it. Even at work, I always say, don't make me touch a car. Like, I don't want to physically work on the car.
And
no.
Fasten the bolts and everything else.
No. We had to do it a few weeks ago. We were here in Germany for a test drive, and we had to do it. And I was just like, this is not me.
That's not you, hey?
This is not me. But no. I struggled with those hands-on subjects. Like I said, I was scared of welding. Yeah. Even our welding coach.
So, the question says you are a telematics engineer, right? Or specialist. But what is it, and what do you deal with on a daily basis?
Okay. So, as a telematics specialist, firstly, my responsibility is with regards to the telematics of the vehicle. This includes like your radio, your infotainment, all your driving assist systems, like self-parking and all those things. So that is my responsibility I'm responsible for those systems for the cars that are manufactured here in South Africa. So on a daily basis, my job entails mainly. My job is a very project-oriented job. So, like every single time we're releasing a new model or new version of a model, I'm responsible for making sure that we have the right software in the vehicle, we have the right components in the vehicle, and that they work. So basically, my main responsibility is making sure that they actually work, like together, like.
So you basically like write the whole coding or systems or whatsoever, and then make sure that the car performs to whatever system you said it should work against.
Yes, so we don't write the code ourselves, but we put the code into the vehicle. Okay. So like our car's like a German car. So like Germany, we have an RD department in Germany, and they're responsible for the complete code of the vehicle and everything. And then they bring it down to us, and we are responsible for making sure that it actually works in our vehicles. So we bring the code. It's only when we have special circumstances where you have to manipulate the code that we would. But mainly because our car is a German car, the systems have to come from that side to us. Yes. So essentially, so we basically put that into the vehicle. We code it and everything, and then we make sure that it actually works, and if it doesn't, we need to know why it doesn't work. So we have to investigate why it doesn't work, and then that's what we need to come up with solutions.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the work that you're doing?
I think my job as a whole is very interesting. I do like my job. I think it's an interesting role, especially for where the automotive industry is now. A lot of focus is on the electronics of the vehicle, self-driving, automation. Everyone is going bigger and better in terms of infotainment and all of those things. So in that aspect,
you're always looking for something better, something that will, those who cannot park parallel parking, they are busy. They are busy helping you there.
Exactly. So in that aspect, I definitely think my job is interesting, and I think it can only peak from here.
Yeah, it would actually, because like I feel like the world is becoming more technological, and yeah, like past things they they don't work no more, and that's why we need more engineers to come on board to give in their ideas, their input in J, and then many of us are in awe of the company that you work for, right? I myself used to want to go work there, and yeah, so I don't know how to put this question. No, but like for someone who's working at that specific company, how would you say the environment is? Especially as a female.
As a female?
Yeah.
Ooh, now it gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As a female, I think, firstly, in general, our environment is a very competitive environment. I think, in essence, you really have to bring your best foot forward all the time. That is the core crux of it all. But in you bringing your best foot forward, like the organization will always try and support you to like be able to like get there.
Yeah.
So I think as a female, it's never easy being a female and working in the engineering industry. I think
Tell me about it.
Exactly.
Tell me about
It's
it.
never easy, guys. I think it's really it's something that you mentally have to like work on to always try and overcome the whole male-female thing, because like I said, my role is a lot project-based. So we have this thing where we have like a project team that's responsible for testing, and in that, like, we have like project leaders that are responsible for the different sectors in the project. So I'm the project leader responsible for the electrics and electronics of the vehicle, and then there's another lady who's responsible for the NVH, noise vibration housing of the vehicle. Everyone else is male on the project. Everyone else, from like exterior, chassis powering, everyone else.
So basically, there's only like two females in your department,
in
team.
in the project team. So everyone else is like male, and the reason why I mention it is because me and her are always like laughing at how much we have to deal with by just like being the females in that team.
Could imagine.
Exactly. So I do think that the organization as a whole has sort of like put a lot of focus in terms of helping females in the organization like get a step foot forward. We recently, last week, just developed a women's forum in our department.
Ooh, that's nice. I was actually going to ask you, like,
we just they developed it, and it had like 100% participation rate from all the females in our department, and that was really great. And that we were like one of the departments that had already established it. So I think the organization as a whole is trying, but I think the engineering world is not trying.
I think, and that is why I try to bring on this platform, because I feel like we as females do also belong in this field, as much as our other counterparts do. We give it a unique feel. Women juggle a lot. Like, we juggle a lot. So imagine in a world or in a environment where you need to be solving like a lot of things to make people's lives easier. I think that's a woman's job. Like, I literally think
that's what we do on a daily basis.
That's basically our nature. But people might argue with us. People might argue with us there, but it's actually great that you guys are developing like a female or a female firm for your company. A lot of companies need to get on board with it, to be honest. There's a lot of them that just, yes, you're an engineer, you're female, but literally there's still that thing that, people will be like, oh, here now we need to be catering for a female. And they're here now because they're not used to that thing.
Exactly. And I think it's one of the things that we were also discussing in our forum. And another lady brought the idea that we need to have a vending machine for sanitary pads. And I just think that is such a groundbreaking idea. I can already see how, it's such a simple thing, but I can see how many
people will be against
exactly, how many just heads it will disrupt and how many ideas it will disrupt. And I really, 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 if you're looking at this and you know you are the one who brought that idea in that form, please advocate.
Please. And if you are anybody, literally, now that you speak about it, when I'm on my periods at work, I need to make sure that everything is in my bag.
Exactly.
If it's not, I have to be going out to the plant to make sure I'm buying all these things so that, because sometimes you never know what floor you are. And then you need this thing, and then people won't understand why are you not going inside the plant because I have a situation. But if we bring such things like the lady in your film, it will be. That's actually a great idea. That's actually a great idea.
Exactly. And I also don't understand the whole concept of why we must hide the fact that we are on our periods. It's such a natural thing. I'm not pregnant. You can see I'm not pregnant. So what are you expecting? What are you expecting for me to just not go on my periods? I'm not pregnant. I'm female.
Exactly.
We were made this way.
Unfortunately, that is us. It is us.
For me, it's really it's quite annoying. It's quite annoying that we have to hide the fact that we're on our periods. We have to hide the fact that we have period pains. I have to say I'm not feeling well.
Wow.
And then what's wrong? Oh no, I have a stomach bug. No, I don't have a
stomach bug.
I have
period pains.
I have period pains. And I hate them. And I want to crawl in my bed and sleep.
That is me every time. Every time. So I when I start my periods, I'm just can the first 2 days just not be at work because I know during that time I am you don't want to mess with me. I just want to be curled up. I don't want to be doing anything except listening to the pain of periods. Yeah, literally. Yeah, hey, but I know there's also and this is something that I know one of the the ladies at work, they're trying to implement where they, and I saw an article about it actually where they say there should be a breastfeeding pump station in workplaces. I think that's a great idea too.
Exactly.
Because I come to work, my breasts are full and I have to pump them out. My kid is not with me, of course, but that pressure
is and then now you start leaking and then everyone is looking at your breast okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is breast for your baby, so I don't necessarily want to go to the toilet where there's germs to go to pump something I'm going to feed my baby. So what do I do? Exactly.
Yeah. But those are things that people are working on, and I think they should just be implemented, and they are great ideas. So does the company, okay, you did actually in a way, but I'll ask it, does the company you work for have programs of empowering females internally, which is the fear, and then externally, is there?
Externally, yeah, there is. We have an EVP program, so an employee monitoring program, where we're actually running it for sanitary pads.
Okay.
So we're basically running a sanitary pads drive to go donate sanitary pads to high school learners. Yeah, and so I think mainly that, and it's a plant-wide thing. So essentially, it's run from like all the different divisions down to the last division. So in essence, they do that, and internally we do have all this women forum that we're doing, and we have the women leadership forum as well. So, like I said, the organization that I work for is really like trying. It's really the engineering sector that's not trying. Engineering is not trying.
And we should be trying.
We should be
trying. And okay, what do you like about being a female engineer?
Do I like being a female engineer? No, I'm joking. What do I like about being a female engineer?
I remember the last time you mentioned how it made you be who you are today, you know. But you can give that in more context. I was just bringing up the idea. Yeah.
No. Yes. That context itself.
Yeah.
I think engineering did make me who I am today. I think, and I'm still developing a lot in terms of who I am. I'm like realizing over the months, with the help of like certain lady that helps me, that I have a lot of developing that I need to do on myself alone. But I think engineering made me who I am. Like I think like the way I think because of engineering.
Yeah.
I like, you know, like there's a certain way like you hold yourself, and I really think like engineering is that for me. It brought like from when we're in mechatronics, starting out already, you're just fighting battles of being a female. It's just like from the beginning, you're just like fighting battles, and I think that perseverance of pushing through that has like really made me the person who I'm like, I push through things, because I think you wouldn't survive if you were a female engineer and you didn't have that trait to push through things. So I like that about that. I also like that it exposed me to a lot of things. I think engineering exposed me to different people. It exposed me to like other career fields. It also exposed me to like countries. To like I travel for work, so it exposed me to like different countries as well, different states, like it just exposed me. It just broadened my mind, and I think it starts with the thinking, like how engineering teaches you to think, and that's where for me it's not. That's why I like it.
You say you travel. Do you travel mostly work-wise, or?
It's a balance. It's a balance. I travel on a personal level. I also travel for work, because our work requires us to do travel quite a bit. But I also travel.
And in those countries, when you travel for work, how do they receive a female in in that space of engineering? Because I believe it would be different as to how we as South Africans. Yes.
So I think I can give an experience of when I was in Germany. So when I was in Germany, I do not feel that Germans have that thing of gender. You're not supposed to be a female working in the sector. I didn't experience it. Maybe they do on like a longer context, but I didn't necessarily feel it in that manner. I have experienced it with Germans that are in South Africa. that have necessarily do not think that we can do something just because we're female. And this goes back to that productivity. I have experienced it with Germans that are here.
Yeah.
But when I was in Germany the last time, I really did not experience it. And in fact, I really felt like it was really an open space of just like no one cares about who you are, what you're doing.
That's
like
right.
We care about the work like,
that you bring
exactly.
in, which is what should be in every company.
Exactly. Like they didn't care. Like there was like we're so busy. Also, the time I was there, the plant that I was in is running like a lot of car lines in one. So it's just busy. People just want to work. Like no one cares about your gender.
Yeah.
It's just people just want to work. And I think the other thing is that so I went to Bremen and then I also went to A.T.F.E.
Yeah.
And in A.T.F.E, I was in an office where the senior manager is female.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
The senior manager is female and the exec is female as well. So it was really just like, for me, a culture shock in terms of like, okay, because in as much as our organization is really about women, we don't have senior leaders that are female.
Yeah.
Like the board is just full of males. I think we have one that just recently got into the role. Yes. And the board is just full of males. And then like the senior leader and the exec leader was female.
Wow.
So I loved it.
Wow. Actually, to think of how different it is in our country. Like there are, not saying that there are not females in higher positions, but there are like a few of them. You can literally, I think you can even literally count them. But yeah. And then what is the general stigma associated with women in the automotive industry?
In the automotive space,
yes.
I think men just want to control. I think the stigma is that we are on two extreme ends of the scale. Either we are extremely controllable or we are extremely controlling. Like they can never just be a female that's just like making decisions because they know. It's always like she's extremely controlling. She's like pushing her own ideas down people's throats. Or on the other end, it's just like, let's just step over her. Let's just make decisions over her.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care what she says, what she thinks. Just like put decisions over her. There's just never a thought of like a woman who's just like able to just make decisions based on data, like based on her experience and based on her knowledge and based on like the data that's just presented to her, and the decision is just accepted as like a decision that needs like a business decision. It's always she's pushing down her like ideas down people's throats. It's like it's two ends of it.
But that's, I feel like that's why women are there, to change things. Like you can't always be thinking about like old things that males always. We bring change, we bring ideas because we always like thinking on our feet. I feel like we always think on our feet. To be honest,
we always have to.
To be honest, and like I don't know, man. Like it's just a weird thing that why wouldn't you? And also I think it's because maybe, I don't know, you can tell me about this. Is it because we do not know much about cars or about models?
No, I don't think so. I think everyone in the workplace is presented with the data, with the same data. Like everyone, for example, we just ramped up a new car line, right? We just ramped up a new car line. No one knew that car line before it was ramped up.
Yeah.
No one had any idea of like what type of powertrain it would have, what type of body it would have. We only started to know about it like when we started getting involved in it because of the ramp up. And we all got involved. So for example, everyone in my team, we all got involved at the same time. So we were all presented with the same data. So you can't tell me that you know more about that car than what I do. We all started at the same foundation. So literally for me, I don't think that is it. I just think that the world has just perpetrated such a patriarchal stand on everything that even where it's not applicable, they just want to apply it. And for me, it's just like, it's not the case. Like, it's the workplace. It's in the same way as the age thing. Like, you know how...
Oh, yes, when you're young, you don't know a lot.
Exactly.
Trust me. You don't know a lot, so...
exactly. Man. Exactly. It's like...
It's a constant battle, to be honest.
Yeah.
That hopefully that one day, like, we will get to some point where everything is just smooth, but like this shouldn't discourage people to entering into engineering, because we need like more people, so that there's like that workforce that actually females also do belong in this, you know. And then okay, like you say, in the industry dominated more by men. What are your main insecurities?
Oof. What are my main insecurities? You know what? I think my insecurity the most is just like my mind. It's my mind, and why I say my mind, I think I just never feel like I know enough. You know, it's just the thing of constantly just like, even though you know what you're saying is right. Yeah. As soon as you get challenged, you just like, am I right or am I wrong?
So you have that, you don't want to fail in it.
Yes.
Like, it needs to be right.
Yes. Yes, exactly that. And if I feel like there's potential that it might not be, I'd rather keep quiet than say anything. And for me, that has been my weakest point. That because of that fear, I would rather just like not say anything, rather than actually be wrong. And 99% of the time, it's right. You just like need to like get over that hurdle of feeling like it's gonna fail. Yes. So that is my biggest insecurity.
But like, you know, failure is something that I feel like we scared of. We literally scared of. I don't know. And thing is, in life you're gonna fail, hey? There's no guarantee that when you know, some way, because I believe that failure teaches you. It strengthens you. It makes you learn more and have different views to solving problems, to, you know, just handling and taking care of things.
And it's something, it's like I mentioned, like I'm working with someone to help me like develop like my EQ level. So it's something that we're working on, and it's something that she's always reminding me that to be cognizant of. And I think it's a lot of development that needs to happen. I have a social media friend, Betumelo, and she's always saying, like, and then I'm like, she's always telling me, oh no, you're great, you're doing all of these things. I'm just like, girl, that's because you don't see my failures. And then every time I do something, and then she does something, and then she shows all her like the missteps that she had to go through, and I just show only the perfect part of it. And then I'm always like, girl, you're brave. you can do that.
Yeah.
I cannot do that, but it's something I'm working on.
Yeah, I think, because to be honest, I'm also like you in a way. Per se, like showing my failures. I'd literally rather show you the nice part of life than to show you, damn, I'm going through a lot, you know. And I think it's something of which I'm trying to change as well. Like you say, I'm trying to change. I had actually recently, shot a video which will be uploaded about the failures that I've been going through. Guys, like, it's not easy. Life is not easy. It's something of which you need to learn from, and those failures we should embrace them rather than to shun them, because a lot of people are they are struggling from depression because they see you living such a fabulous life, like, yo, damn, like, hey, this person travels, this person does this, but they don't really, not saying you should showcase your life, but you should help in a way of trying to reduce such pressures on people, because people end up killing themselves because of that.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I think as our generation, we should like try help to show people life is not easy. I may not show you what I'm going through, the failures of school, of whatsoever, at work, but it's something that I'm gonna share and I'm gonna learn from it, and I want you guys to learn from it too.
I always tell my friends, like, when my failures are concerned, shame, you guys will never see them. I don't care what I trigger, you're never gonna see them. I have, and like I said, I'm working on it, but I don't think I'll ever reach a point where like I'm comfortably telling people that I am sad or I am going through like a tough time or anything. Especially like online people, I don't think for me that is a space that I would necessarily want to like go into telling people like, oh, today was a tough day at work, I did not enjoy, like I did it when I was doing my masters. Like when I was doing my masters, I was taking people through like everything that I have to deal with in like our research groups and all of those things, and like everyone was enjoying it on social media. Like everyone was like asking, what is the update on this guy? And actually me and him are friends now. He was asking, what is the update on this guy, and all of those things. But I'm like, for me, I can keep it there, because also I like to look at the sense of humor of most things, so I will keep it there. But like to go into like the depth of like my failure, yo, I don't know. But that is something I need to work on. If not, because right now I don't even share it with my parents. I don't even share it with my sister. I don't even share it with my friends. It's literally just something that I deal with by myself, and then like I let it go. So like my mentor and I were speaking, and she was telling me that at least share it with someone. Like just tell someone like who Deno is outside of this like exterior of what everyone perceives you to be. Like tell someone how much you struggle like at work with like certain things, or how much you struggle like outside of work with like certain things. I'm just like, you know what? You know what? It's for me and God. It's for me and God. No, but I'm working on at least sharing it with like family, and sharing it with like my mentor, and she's always trying to push me to like say stuff, because literally we have weekly meetings, and we would have like sit down, and then I would literally go silent, and it's just like nothing happened this whole week. I'm like, nothing. And then she's like, this is how I know you are lying. Yeah. But oh my word. It's something I need to do.
But that's great to have a mentor, eh? It's great to have someone who would always like check up on you and make sure that you know you thrive, you go through the industry. She's also in a. She's not.
She knows nothing about the industry.
Really?
Not that she knows nothing about it. She knows as much. She's in a different sector.
Mm-hmm.
She's in consulting, and she's a very smart woman. And so she literally just she helps me look at life differently. So I went to her because I was feeling stagnated. I wanted I was at a place where I was like, I'm ready for development, but I'm also not ready. I can feel it in my soul that I'm not ready for to go to the next level of my career. But I'm also ready to go to the next. So I was like, I need to work on myself, especially my EQ, in my emotional intelligence. I needed to work on my emotional intelligence, and that is what she was helping me with, working on my emotional intelligence and how to deal with things without
becoming emotional.
Yeah, for me it was the opposite actually. I'm a very emotionless person.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very emotionless. So the only thing is she's dealing with realizing when something is not for me versus when it's for me.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Because in the workplace you need to learn how to handle certain people and handle how certain things are said and how certain people will say certain things about you or how people will treat you in a certain way. And she's sort of teaching me how to detach that from being me. It's not a me thing, it's a world thing. It's an external thing. And sort of that difference type of thing, so that I can learn how to then, because the whole thing about it is that it affects you if you think it's you. Then you don't know how to deal with it, because then you're it's me,
always me. Yeah.
So once you detach yourself from it, then
I think something that we were not taught of in school is that engineering, we even say it at work, Corey. We didn't think studying engineering will have to deal with people.
Yes. So I got tired because I didn't want to deal with people.
Because normally an engineer is a person who just likes their own space, solve problems, and then go. And then now you have to be talking to people. You have to, just associate with people, and you just no. No. And people are different. They come in different, so something that we also need to learn a lot. And I think maybe varsities should somehow introduce that
different,
that thing
that people expect.
Yes, because shame. It's tough. Every time I had to discipline some other guys, and I was just like, yo, I did not go. Hey, but here we are. I'm doing that. Okay, and then how do you deal with adversities in the industry?
Adversities like struggles.
Yeah.
I got to
yeah, that's why I just so do you take your mentor as a therapist type of thing, a session?
I do.
Because not a lot of people realize they need that.
I do. I take it to a bit. She deals with a lot from me. But how I deal with them, I honestly I said, I'm learning to externalize things more than internalize them. I'm learning to realize that certain people's behaviors are not necessarily my responsibility, and they're not necessarily a reflection on me. So when someone treats me badly for the sake of being a female and an engineer, I literally just look at it as, that's a you problem. That's not a general problem. That is not something that I have to mitigate. We're here now. I'm the engineer. You're just gonna have to deal.
At this point, you literally
we're here now. Exactly. And I don't think that I femaled my way to my job. I worked my way to my job. and we're just gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm female and I'm here and I'm an engineer and there's absolutely nothing that you can do
except again.
Exactly. So yeah, when I get bad things or I'm treated badly for the sake of being a female engineer, I externalize it. It's not a big problem.
Yeah,
it's a big problem.
And then what has your profession helped you today? I think I have asked you this. I have asked you this. And then, okay, so this is one of the few questions that I knew. So you are a finalist. Congratulations. For the Rising Star Award 2022 in manufacturing. How does that feel? And how does that feel, man?
You know what?
Yeah.
It feels there's a when I shared it on Instagram that I was a finalist, I wrote somewhere that there's a very heartwarming story related to it. I wrote on the post. I was like, there's a very heartwarming story related to this. And then people were asking me share the story, we want to hear. And I was like, I'll find one day I'll find the right time and the right platform to share it. And so maybe I'll share it here. It's a quick 2-minute story. So the Rising Star Awards, so I was nominated by an external person who was really responsible a lot for my growth in terms of who I grow to be. She helped me make decisions a lot since I was in university, and she led me into this organization called the Women organization. So she sort of led me into that direction after the Girl Inch thing. She led me into the Women organization and all of those things. And so when I found out, when the lady from the Rising Star Awards called me to ask me to finish to do, so she told me she got me into the platform, and then she was so I had to fill in these questions. So I did 2 of them, and I was and then this lady from Blackboard Productions that are responsible for the event host for the awards, she called me, and then she's like, "Hi, Deno." And then when she called me, it was a really, really bad day at work. It was a horrible day, being an engineer. I had just been undermined by my then manager. I had just been I had just been undermined by my then manager, and I was really in my feels because not because of how he treated me, but how he treated the people on my team that were helping me. So we had this thing that we were working on, and globally it was not going well, and so we had to redo it. And we had just had an international meeting that day to submit the results, and then at the end of that meeting they were like, okay guys, we have to redo all the parking from scratch. Then everyone globally has to go redo all the parking from scratch, and we all had to go redo the parking. And I had to leave that day. I had to come to Joburg that day because I was doing a presentation for school, for my research. I was doing a presentation, and I could not because I had to miss my flight because of this. So I was stressed about that. And this man just came and he spoke to me in such a horrible way, and then he spoke to my team in such a horrible way, and the whole time he came and he was just throwing his whole weight on that whole situation, and it was taking every single fiber in my bone to not just be I'm quit. It was literally taking every single fiber in my bone, not because of the problem. The problem we could easily deal with, because like it was a global problem. We all had issues. In fact, another manager called me, and then he was talking to me, and then we were explaining it, and then he was like, okay, that's fine. Then like the solution needs to come, and then that's it.
Yeah.
This one was just like throwing his weight and doing all of those things. I was just like, you need to breathe. You need to breathe. And I got into the car, and I was like, I need to take a drive. And on that drive, this lady calls me, and she's like, Deno, I need you to please like do these questions and all of those things. And I was like, lady, not today. Today is not the day where you come to me about anything that's got to do with engineering. Today is the day I don't want to hear anything about being an engineer, because literally, on the other end, my supervisor was asking me, what is the plan now that you're not going to come for the presentation? How are we going to do this? And all of those. I'm like, I don't have a plan. I missed my flight. There's nothing I can do. I had to stay here because this man would not let me go. And then this lady's just like, I was like, I am at work. And then she's like, it's fine. Finish what you're doing, and then I'll call you back.
Yeah.
And then she was like, we need to do this today because it closes today. And then she was like, you know what? I will open for you for the next 3 days. So take your time and let's do it after 3 days. And then she was like, but I will call you later. I will wait for you. She's like, this lady said, I will wait for you. I was like,
with something
that's like an angel sent. And she's like, I'll wait for you. And in my head, I was like, sha, bruh, like whatever. Because I was not going to do it. I was just like, cool, whatever serves you. And then we worked until 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock I was at home. And then,
yeah, 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, 10 o'clock I was at home. And 10 o'clock was when we started, actually. And then we finished. We did everything. And then she was like, okay, cool. Now they have to reevaluate. They have to evaluate and then see if like we make it into the semi-finalists. And then they were going to announce the semi-finalists on a different day. Semi-finalist day came. I was like, I'm not even going to watch this.
Yeah.
Semi-finalist day came, and then they're like, okay, Deno. I was like, oh, really? Okay. And then we had to do interviews, different types of interview to get into the finals. Then we did those interviews, and then that did not go well either. And then they were like, but that was not like work related. It was just me and that's all. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna announce the finalists. Then they're like, the finals came. I was like, I'm not even gonna watch this finalist podcast because I know I'm not there. And then they announced,
because to you it didn't go well.
Yes, and then they announced the finalists, and then I was there. I was like, okay. The day of the finalist interviews, sure, but anyway, that's a different story.
Another day.
Yeah, sure. It was. It feels great to be there. I think I'm honored, and it's a mixture of two things. It's that it's everything behind these awards and all of that, and versus the fact that I'm happy to be nominated, and I think it's a great honor, and I think it can only open great doors for me.
Yeah. No man, congrats. And how's your masters? So what happened? Or how did you?
No, I finished my masters. Yeah. So what the research that I had to do. So this is like prior research before you do like your PhD.
Okay.
So
you're in the journey of PhD now.
Yes. Oh. Hey, it was tough. I had to find a different date. I had to like send the supervisor like proof of why I couldn't be there. I had to like that was a lot. But shame. Finally I think my supervisor was very understanding, and finally, and then we just did it. We did it on a different day.
Where are you doing it?
UJ.
And it's on
engineering management. So yeah, we finished and that's that.
Oh. Yeah, hey? That's actually nice. I'm thinking of doing my master's too, and I'm just like, how do you deal with working and studying? You guys, it's difficult. And then you mentioned are you part of Warm Age?
Yes.
So this is the question. please tell us your experience with them and what a person can expect from joining them.
My experience with women has been good. I think they are one of the different organizations that really just are promoting girls in the STEM field. I have quite recently finished a mentorship program with them where I was one of the mentors for a group of ladies, and I think that was very enlightening for me, because I think in as much as like I've worked for like 6 years and all of those things, I think I'm still very like developing in terms of my career, and those ladies like are really people who like have like great prospects in the engineering sector, and just how enthusiastic they were about being engineers brought like my little enthusiasm back. And I think that organization is really like they're pushing the boundary in terms of like what it means to like get girls into the different, because they're even promoting entrepreneurs, and they're promoting like all these different types of like females that are in STEM, not necessarily that you have to like work as an engineer or work as a STEM something. Like you can be an entrepreneur. Like they have the Africa Prize thing, I think. That's what they call it. And I think it's a great organization. I've enjoyed my time with them.
And are you registered with EXA?
No.
All right.
No.
With any like body like the South African mechanical
institution?
Yeah. You have.
I am.
And how is that?
I feel like engineering bodies need to do better. Like I just feel like
it's only the civil engineering ones that like
really like
they. Because I was looking at every time they say join this, and I'm like, but where's the you need to give me that thing. But I guess if we join, and we will be the changes in it.
Yeah.
But and then what advice would you give to the young ones who wants to become engineers? And also, just to add on that, those who are studying engineering as well.
I think my one advice is I once had an interview I was helping this girl with her interviews, and I asked her a question in terms of being a female engineer. I said, if a male was to stand next to you and say to you, okay, what is it that you want to do to make your time in the engineering sector better? What would you say? And I think that's something that we don't think about a lot. Like, people don't think about a lot in terms of, like, what is it that you want males to do to make your time as an engineer not as horrible, or not feel like as hard as it is. And I think that's something that we need to think about, especially when we like doing things like female in engineering, girl age, and all of those things. We really need to think about what is it that we're looking for in terms of our male counterparts. What do we want them to do? And for me, once we have established that, we need to stop addressing girls and start addressing men. So we need to then start addressing the males in the engineering sector. Yes. Once we have, as females, collectively understood what it is that we want males to do, we then need to start addressing them and not necessarily stop, but push the focus towards men more than towards females. Yeah. So my advice to anyone who is in the engineering sector and is struggling with that male-female thing is really to define it for yourself first. What is it that you want your male counterparts, your male students, your male friends, or your male colleagues to do to make your life easier as a female? For me, I want them to just not look at my gender, look at me as a person, look at Deno. And so once you have defined that for yourself, then start addressing that with your male counterparts. then start saying it. Start saying, like, I want you to do this. I need you to stop doing this. I need you to start doing this. We really need to start telling them, like, I need you to stop treating me like this because I'm this. I need you to start telling me that, stop telling me this just because of this. I need you to stop undermining me. And for me, that's my main. And if you can afford it, go see a therapist. Yeah. Because engineering will tear you apart. Joking. Go see a therapist. That's not true. Go see a therapist if you can.
Well, I feel like in any
mentor.
In any part, get a mentor.
Yes.
Go if you don't get a mentor, but just go see a therapist, because life in itself and engineering in itself, it just comes
at you.
It comes at you, and you just need to talk about it and not bottle it in. But yeah, and then to the young kids, to those grade 12, high school, primary, they feel, yeah, man. Because now I was introduced to engineering high school, like yourself, and I didn't know much. So what would you say to them?
I think to them I say, do not shy away from engineering. Engineering is an interesting field. Do not shy away from it. And be really decisive about what engineering you want to be. And from there, start chasing that goal. The sooner you can develop that goal, the better you will get at mastering the skill to get to it. So I'd say quickly establish that goal for yourself and then start devising a path to get to that goal. So goal-orientatedness, focus on your school, and really put yourself out there in terms of learning about different types of engineering, different types of organizations that hire engineers, and different opportunities for engineers, what they can study, where they can go, like you can go abroad, you can stay in the country. Just put yourself out there, and it all starts with, in the internet, Google the phone that you have. If you can, use it. Put yourself out there as someone who is interested in the engineering sector and just study it.
Yeah, true. Like study. But it's very important to, like you say, know which engineering you want to do. Like in your case, it was mechatronics or chemical. In my case, it was mechanical or civil.
Sure.
Yeah.
You just really went for the downright.
In my case, it was that. But I knew, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. Although everyone brought all these different ones, I just, after, of course, doing research, I didn't have the luxury of shadowing somebody.
Yes.
And yeah, with that being said, does your company allow that?
Shadowing?
Yeah.
We do. We're working now with this year's program. So we're doing shadowing with the year's program. So they invited like students to come and shadow.
Okay, so part of what I want for this platform is introduce like the ladies who wants to just see what Deno is doing. Hopefully you afford it. But of course, as we go along, that will be introduced in our website page, where a person who would want to shadow an engineer and just find out what's happening in their different sectors, to contact them or contact them through us, and then we just see how we can do it. And maybe you could help us with the company that you are in if we can't, of course, reach them. So, yeah. And then, okay, I did ask you this. Any last words? Any last words for the platform?
I think my last words are like what you said. I am the biggest promoter of this platform. I am the biggest fan of it. I really do want it to succeed. I really do want it to reach the heights that you wanted to reach. And I literally will support anything and everything that requires me to stand for females that are engineers, and just generally a promotion of being a strong woman and a vulnerable woman within our sector.
Yeah.
I have moved away from the strong to like an inclusion of strong and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think so I think your platform is one of the things that are really going to change the status quo of what the engineering sector is and what it is capable of, and it will really change the status quo of females and within the sector and how they look at. Like, the more exposure we have towards females that are in our sector, the better we will realize that this sector actually is standing on females, and there are actually females that are trailblazing our sector, and it's just really good to see, especially because it was established by a Black woman and just generally a woman in our engineering sector. So really, for me, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you finally got it up. I'm so glad that you finally decided that it's time.
From 2019, guys,
Exactly.
when I posted that.
Exactly. So I'm so glad that it is, you finally decided to take that leap. And I really hope more than anything, everyone else sees it and decides to take their own leap. So well done.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh my word, guys. No, I really do want this platform to touch a lot of girls, females in this industry, literally, and just for them to know what's happening. I know there's been platforms where like other, professions are being like shown to the world as to what is happening there, and I don't feel like as us engineers, females, we do that.
Yeah.
And it's something that I was like, you know what, there are people who are doing that, but it's a few of us, and they have, of course, their own niche and directions of tackling this whole thing. So yo, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you did enjoy this interview. I did a lot, and I've learned a lot from Deno. Please do like it. Comment down below if you have any questions for Deno. You can catch her on her Instagram handle, which I will put just right here, and also in the description. What do you want to? Yes. So yeah, please do encourage your girls to become engineers. If there's anything that they need to know, here's a platform for it. And I am, of course, trying to open up a website so we can all engage instead of but this is where we are going to be based for now. Actually, not for now, for a long time, and the website as well. So yes, thank you, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.